My name is TechCat. Good to see everybody. I'm going to show you exactly what I need from you to do the ECHO Gaster project. First, definitely got to go to the website. It's just echogaster.tumblr.com. And I have a little thing here sort of laying out what I want you to do, and you should go through and read that. But after that, more specific, sorry Z, go to the template and notes link off to the side, and there is a link up here with the template. I need you to go there. You'll get this Google Drive thingy, and it's gonna be a huge frickin' clusterfuck. I do swear. Sorry. Not sorry. You'll need to download it, which would be the little icon at the top. Say that you can download it anyway. It's clean. I put it there. Oh, don't do a swear counter on me. I'm bad at that. So you'll have that, and you can totally do it in Photoshop. That would be a great idea. Sorry, that's good in the chat. But I tend to run things in Sci because I work better there. So I open it up in Sci, and there's a shit ton of layers. So many layers. And yes, I love my hat too. It's hard resin, it glows in the dark. Alright. So the biggest thing is lots and lots of layers on top of each other. Hi, Cliff! And everybody. Hi, everybody. I love you all. So the example folder is just different Gasters at the start. Some of these have actually changed since they were added to this, which is normal. Especially Armesian's Datester. I added -1 just to have a few options, but you don't need to have them. There's different layers for notes. Just toggle one or the other and you read those specifically. I ended up taking and writing out all of the details of what's on those on the ECHO template and notes page. So if you can't read my handwriting, it's copied over here. The biggest deal is having the head in the same position, having it facing straight forward, because that's what the music video needs. I know we all want to do something different, and it's hard to draw from straight on forward. But you can do it. It looks awesome when it's all put together. The arm poses that I suggest tend to be like, pose your own arms and figure things out. Like, a frustrated thing is always fun, but really freaking hard to draw. Holding the head, you can hold your head in different ways. I did not want to do a, here's the poses, do that. Because people do different iterations of their Gaster to have their personality show through, and that's exactly what I want. I want everyone to do what they think is their Gaster as much as they can. The suggestions that I have specifically for expressions in their poses is something with fear, something interacting with their soul, either by holding it or clinging to it, or oh man, I don't think anyone's done it where they like ripped it apart. That would be awesome. Pumpkin, what's your question? And yes, I'm having Echo just loop in the background. I figure for the sake of having a tutorial video for the ECHO project, it would make more sense to have ECHO just looping instead of having some other rest of my playlist playing. On this, I wrote down that there's a minimum of 4 sets of arms. I like to have more than that, Oh, the actual size of the canvas is the document. The static that's in the background is just filler so that you can see it and have something other than a blank background. You could do a fill for whatever color just so you can draw against it. It's okay to have lineless work that's white. The static images are actually from an effort that I did to try and see if I could get an image out of smile.ogg using SSTV signals, and nothing really came out of it, but I can say, hey, this is noise that's actually based off of Gaster's soundtrack thing. That's the story of that. But those are totally separate from what happens in the ECHO music video. What should I say? This was the first set of notes that I did, and you can see where the previous template was. The reason this is different than what it was before, and kind of expanded out, is when I did it originally, I had it at the 1920 by 1080, but when Photoshop made the file, it was like, hey, I'm gonna do that pixel stretching thing that's like 1 to 1.333333 instead of 1 to 1, which is kind of what all of us draw in, and everything ended up just looking stretched out and gross. So fixed it, had to change the template, and it's the correct width so that everything can be 1 to 1 instead of 1 to 1.333333. It's something from old video processing compatibility stuff. Not really useful for us. If it were like going onto a TV, that might matter. Here it doesn't. So there's all of these other lines as well to say where shit should be. The biggest thing is having symmetry. Straight up and down. Your Gaster's head has to be in the center, and there has to be a soul of some sort. It can be a really messed up soul if you want it to be. The default that I put there is kinda meh. Feel free to redraw the soul, just have the center on this point, right here. So it's always, it'll line up with everybody else's. We had one case earlier on where one of the souls was like off center, and it really stuck out, and everyone's just like, hey, that one's out of place. So we moved it, and it was good. It's all better. The thing about having digital form instead of just flat images forever is we can change it. In the actual file that I use, it links to images from a Google Drive. So when it's like, hey, I want this frame, and we've fixed it, it's only going to that location and using whatever is the newest version of that file. Instead of having everyone go like, need to delete the original, need to replace it, need to relink it, and get it all measured back out again. It's ugh. Made it so it just like uses a simple system. But that's why we have very strict naming conventions for the files. The examples, template, and I'm gonna go ahead and make a really crummy Gaster. So we'll say we're making a temgi. Oh, let's see. Yes, I'm gonna make a temgi. Yes, Pumpkin, another question? And I like having transparency within my things. So the shape of the Gaster's head can be a little wiggle room depending on what the shape is for your Gaster. A lot of them tend to be kind of egg-shaped, so it fits that shape that I put in, but it's that the eyes line up in some way, and we're gonna do a temgi. for the goop on different parts of the canvas, we had that with one of the Gasters to start with, and we found that it kind of was really distracting. It's okay. Like, we figured out it's a-okay if the goop comes from the bottom up and it's attached to the Gaster's pose. You don't want it... Hugster has it where his arms are stretched out and they're actually being pulled by pieces of the void from the sides, like out here. And it's attached, so it is okay. If you have it just like random dribbles all over the place, then it's not going to work. It's just going to be flashy and distracting. And God knows we have so much already going on. We don't need more distractions. So, quick slippy sloppy sketch. I'm a butt, and I'm gonna do the same thing that I do for Gaster Tech. I mean, I don't even know what those things are. I think they're supposed to be ears for Temmie, but who knows? Tekiji. It is a great idea to have arms that specifically work well with an expression. If you have it where it's just like, Armesians, we just renamed it. Every Gaster should have a nickname, is another bit. We started calling him Creepster instead of Goopster, where he has like an expression where his hands are like this, pressed against his head, and it works really well with like a scrunched up face. And there was just like a note left to say that, so when I do the frames, I can make sure that happens. And it's okay if certain poses work better than others, if they overlap. Another one that's been fun is like them choking themselves, because I'm gonna have it where it looks like one Gaster is very angry and like this, and another like is actually acting on it, like through another Gaster because shenanigans. And have it where there's like different ways that they hold their soul. I know that I have Legacy where they're like holding it like sort of passively, and another that's like clinging to it for different expressions. The poses don't have to be symmetrical for the arms. It could be that like you could have one clawing at the face and one like out here, or clawing at the other arm. You could have the arms interact with each other. I do that with Legacy, where I have like arms that are like this together, and that's not symmetrical. They come as a set because the fingers are interlaced. It's okay to have sets of arms that are permanently stuck together, but don't make all of your arms that way. You can have it so that there's two arms around a soul, where you could also have the other arm be some other pose. A lot of people have been doing ASL, American Sign Language, because we associate that with Gaster. The one that's been like really great is Help, which is just this. So I might have a section where it's just all the Gasters doing that, if they have that for a pose. I think, is there anything else? I don't know BSL, but you can if you want to. I don't know how much is different between them all. I don't know sign language. I would love to learn. But you can do whatever poses you want. Really. My crummy little Temmie. And because we talked about droops, we'll do little dribbles. And one of the concepts of doing it this way is, for the template, is having a main body and then arms to hold together. Monster sign language. Like, arms will be on layers, so when I sketch mine, I come up with several and just sort of draw them all at the same time. and they all root in the same space. And I know that that's not totally correct for anatomy because the shoulder girdle changes how the chest looks depending on where the arms are, especially for down versus up. But we're gonna ignore it because art. So that I'm not dying working on all of these files. And we're gonna leave this really sloppy and simple just so that I can have an example to go all the way to the finish. You can have it where you duplicate an arm over to the other side, but I'm on that. I tend to prefer people drawing repeatedly. It's okay, like if that's a whole morality on how much is too much to black with, but some of them it looks better that way. It's give and take. I'm not gonna say yes or no because everyone has room to make their own interpretations. Let's see. I think of another pose. What about your pubster? And I am here to answer questions. That's exactly what the premise is today. Slappy dashy. Sketch. Name it a sketch. Spell it, because me. Let's give her... Shoo shoo! Shoo shoo! I am but a loaf of bread. Don't ask too much of me. We'll make a crummy little gold soul. Those money. Money, money, money. Oh yeah, that's fine. Please, do something cool. Honestly, I probably have one of the, like, a very unoriginal soul for Legacy. Go nuts on the soul. -1 has it, like, just pushed and pulled in all different directions. Because it's, like, scattered. Please, have fun with it. Showcase what your Gaster is like in the soul. Just do it! Think money. Money. Oh. These are not even in the 10P folder. How dare I? Him keep money for cool egg. Resintis cool egg. So we all have like a big collar thing that we like to have Gaster with. Soul probably goes about that. Drop the soul. And like the background is here just so I can see stuff happening instead of on white, which can get a little overwhelming. Oh man, this is the most slapdash thing I've done. So I tend to rough out the shoulders as just like a little zone that all of the arms can attach to and not really think too hard about it. Like, dribbly. Oops. This is the example, it will be slapdash, just so that we can have it finished. Okay. And this might totally backfire. Sweet. Yes. I'm not really explaining this part just because I'm trying to get it done. For other streams I can go through the tips and tricks on using Psy. Do things fast. This. I am using a tablet. I have been using this tablet for many years. And I am absolutely terrified of when it's going to die. Because it's going to. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and call this the body. Merge it with its lines. You don't have to merge it with lines, I'm just doing it to make it easier for me. And it's okay to use a mouse. It's okay. If you can make it work and you can draw with it, then right on. Because I can't. It's the body. I'll make some expressions. One thing I have seen from a few people is where they'll do the eyes and the mouth as separate pieces that can be toggled on and off, like that can be mixed and matched for expressions, which is like really helpful and makes it so that you don't have to do as much. But some people have gasters that are like literal skulls, and it involves recreating the whole head for the expressions. Can't really do that. Some people have it where the crack interacts in certain ways, which is what I did, and doesn't really work if you don't have things matching up. So all of my expressions are just 1, 2, 3, 4 instead of eye 1, 2, 3, 4, mouth 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna run it with the example of having eyes and mouth separate because it's awesome. So we'll do... Make sure we get the right in the right spot. Mouth. In there. It's so gorgeous though! Actual skull was a mistake. Yes! It is me! Mouth 1. Mouth 2. There are certain expressions that will work better for the sake of the video than not. So be aware of that when you're working on your Gaster. I don't want everyone to be really being gung-ho and like, I'm gonna make all the expressions, I'm gonna like feel the whole spectrum of emotions, and it's like, the happy stuff probably isn't gonna make it into the video, I'm sorry. I'm glad for it, but be aware that if you're doing things that aren't terribly useful for the project, it probably won't make it into the project. Because it's all about the mood piece, and I'm sure we'll love it. And you can do joke faces because those are fun. This Temgi is a joke, so it's gonna have silly faces. What is this image? Do this. Yes! Yes! I really can't get over that one. That was amazing. Okay. Alright, we're just gonna leave a mouth and a nose. Actually, okay, let me fix this thing. Have the eyes with the cracks on them because it's not Gaster without those lines, man. Am I right? The emoticon's disabled, sorry. Because they all look like crap. Okay. Expressions, done. Soul, done. Arms! I've seen people divide the arm layers in several ways, and I can't really pick out what's the best way and what's not. I do gotta say, either if you do it by pose or by what's on the left and what's on the right, label left and right based on the Gaster's point of view. So the Gaster's right would be our left. Oh, Lenny. Delenny! I think the thing that's helped the most for me working on all of these is having like a folder describing what the pose is of those two arms. Like holding soul or grabbing head. And then have within that folder a left and a right. So we'll say soul hold. I don't even know, man. I don't even know. So. Have like this. The whole arm. We are not complicated here. Do it that way. So this would be right. Lenny was not a mistake. Lenny is exactly as he's needed. Let me... Okay. And for the sake of this, I'm merging it and... Not doing that. Yep. So you can like toggle the arm on and off and it'll match up roughly. Right. Pay no attention to absolutely how crap this is. This is intentionally garbage. Just to have it finished. Okay. This. Merge and do the smush. There. So there. There. If I want, I can do the left, I can do the right, I can turn both off and on. Makes it nice. Nice, 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 nice. Move on to another. Let's hold you. Whatever. Shush, shush, shush. Not be picky about spelling mistakes. Right. Oh. Isn't even the right color. Oh well. Right. Helps if you do the right things. Ooh, the right thing. Now, another thing that has been asked is if it's okay to have symmetry. And in cases like a whatever, it would make sense to have the arms be identical to both sides. And you can if you want to. But I will do right here. Horizontally. Hooray! Flip that shit, put it on the other side. Hooray! All good. Rename it. Lip. Sold. Whatever. Do we want another pose? Or is this good enough to move forward with? For the ECHO project. Boy! It me! It's not a flop, it's a good project. Okay. Are we good? Are we good enough? Flipster! I like the name Flipster, it's cute. Yes, show me Flipster! Show me! I love him! Aww! I love him! He's cute! I wanna hug him! Good! Yes! How dare you! Cutie, you said that your Gastra might not fit, and I think it's gonna be great! He's gonna look awesome. Cause he's great! That's why! Okay. So, if we're gonna call this good, we are going to take this top, the tip top. No, you said that. You said that, cutie. Here's all the Gasters we have so far. Look at them all. They're all so precious and good. I still need more. So, when you go to name your Gaster, you should do your name. I am Tech Cat. And this is Temgi. Save it, and it will be uploaded to the Google Drive. Blue Daggers, it is the template. You can find it on the ECHO website. And if Google Drive will be nice to me, should be uploaded to the Google Drive. These. It's not! Awesome! Cool! That's fine. That's okay. It's okay. It is okay. So what I will do, then, if that's not gonna happen, save again, because it's there. Throw it on the desktop. There it is. Go to the Google Drive. Oh, wait, there it is. Okay, that'll work. Sometimes it takes a minute or so for Google Drive to sync it up, but it's there! Hooray! So after you have your PSD up, it's okay to have your sketches and what have you, incomplete stuff. You go and make a folder with that, so say cat. Ta-da! For all of the things that you put up for the screenshots, for the frames that your Gaster will be in, you'll want to do at the minimum of poses for your Gaster. I want to have one of just the soul, on a empty background, export as PNG. Do name Gaster, and for the specific poses you'll have soul, have opacity, I know your soul is gonna be like complex, cutie. Expression be in the folder. I'm bad. Those you do just a number. Do 1, 2, both, make that 3. Oh wait, no. Have it that, and with a different expression. Wow! 4 arms! Wow! Also, there is one other specific frame that I want out of people, and I can show you a very easy way to do it, where it's a silhouette. And with the silhouettes, you just do whatever pose you think is best for your Gaster. Do a frame of it. You can either write out silhouette or say sil, S-I-L. Have it with the opacity. Now leave that file. Leave your PSD open. Open up that frame that you have labeled the silhouette. And it should be just that one thing by itself. Lock the opacity. Pick out your gray. Do a fill. Easy. Then go back to your main thing, your main PSD. Copy the soul. Paste it. Ta-da! You have a silhouette. Yes, a very, very, very evil Temgi. The silhouette is meant to represent where your Gaster is on good versus bad. Good being white, black being bad. You're not allowed to have pure black or pure white anywhere in between. So this is close. And then once this is done, just save over it. Replace that file. And then, when you go to open the folder, the silhouette is there. And woohoo! All done and good. Naming is the same, file is just replaced with that silhouette. Go ahead, Pumpkin, what's the question? Yes, the soul can be obstructed in the silhouette. I believe Ichi did that for theirs. Where are you at, Ichi? Yeah. Ichi's does, where it's like covered. The benefit, like as I was just able to do right now, oh thank you Ace, is having all of the PSDs available on the Google Drive. If I'm like, hey, I need this pose instead of this one, I can open the file, export it again, and work with anyone who's like, I don't know how to do this part, can you help me out? Or, does this make sense? Does this work? I can go in, and we can fix it. The thing on that is that there needs to be like permissions given and all of that fun stuff. But having the PSDs on the Google Drive is very, very important. And I am totally down for it being still in sketch phrases when you start, like, nice! Nice! Look at that dapper fuck. I'm down for that. So sketches are fine. Sketches are a-okay. It's a way to... look at them all! Look at Wings, oh my god! Look at him! Oh, this is one that's smooshed. He is so gentle. Baby! Baby! Yes, I get really psyched about Gasters. And really everyone does. And that's one of the points of the project. All the Gasters are really cool. With how many people are on the project, there are several people who... Yes, Pumpkin, that's me! Your Gaster may look like pop art, but so do some of the other ones. We got a fucking candle, man! We got a candle! This Gaster's lit! Ghost of Christmas Gast! He's so good! Good and pure! Oh man, who else is pop arty? I can't get over Shugaster. Shugaster is like... also for being kind of pop arty, Ray's is like that. I love Ray. Ray's awesome. Where it's very like bam, bam, bam. Edges, bam, bam, bam. So glad she joined. Yeah, Gazzy might be considered that. Where are you, Gazzy? I love Gazzy too. Oh wait, this is alphabetical, isn't it? No? Yes? Maybe? Gazzy, where are you? There you are. Baby! Some of the suggestions for poses are the hear no evil, speak no evil, see no evil. The see no evil is always very fun because Gastra has holes in his hands so he can see through them. And look at all these eyes it freaking did! Like, I could do all sorts of poses with these. Glow if you want it. And we talked with each other on, like, what would work? Does this work okay? And it's like, well, it kind of doesn't, but if you did this, then it would work. And we fixed it. It's a conversation, and it's an involved process. It's not just fill this out and send it to me and you're done. Because that's not it. Oh, everyone is outdoing me for how many poses their Gaster has. Mine are so freaking simple now. Of course, then I had to do this bub. This baby. I love him. I love him so much. Look at him. Protect that smile. Protect it. He's a baby. I love him. I love him so much. Legacy is a weird Gaster because his rule is that he has 6 arms by default. So all of the arms that I did, I had to make more because he has to have 6 at all times. He is too many arms, the Gaster. He's also inverted because why not? It's okay if things are semi-transparent. In fact, I encourage that. Like both Benster do not have floating hands. That is the #1 thing that a lot of people like to do. I do not want floating hands. You can have anything to hold the arms, and it could just be something very simple or something vague, but there has to be some connection to the body so that it's read. Otherwise it shows as like flashing images. I had to do that for both of these, where I was like, hey, your hand poses are amazing, but they need arms. Ironic, we actually talked about it and we came up with magic energy instead. So for the arms, they're actually just like flows of magic. And it's like, there you go. There's something different and new and special. Get creative. Do something funky. Go for it. It's Gaster. Like, almost nothing is like off limits. Your Gaster has to be facing forward, hands have to connect to the body somehow. Armesian did it where they just did a nice flowing line to connect to their hands. It doesn't have to make an anatomical sense, because there's goo. You can make it something strange. You can make it something that makes sense. You can have sleeves. You can have bones. could make it loose. Even for one of my own Gasters, I tend to have it that the bones are free floating. But I made it so that they're connected with just trails of goop. You could have thick goop, you could have very wide goop, different consistencies. Just show it. Anything to connect them all together. I still gotta fix that. I need to fix this. I messed it up. So you can have things that are like a little bit of floating. Like I have these fingers, just a little bit, but it's very clear that they're intended to be connected. It's not like they're all over the canvas. Like it normally would be for the character. Normal iteration of him. Ooh. But yeah, there's an example of really messing up the soul. And as well as an arm pose actually drips into the grooves of that soul. Because I wanted to do that. Because it was like, why not? Go for it. So if you turn off the body, you can actually see where the arms are for those. Slack arms. So there's the trace out of the soul. Filler that I gave myself. So if you can interact with the soul, go for it. Layers are important. Do something fun. Have to have a soul. Have to have hands that are attached to arms. Arm poses have to be their own layers. Expressions have to be on their own layers. If you have a Gaster that has a whole frickin' skull, because you're amazing, then you can have it where it's actual frickin'... Oh my god. Oh wow, yours is huge. Hee. Like for a certain cliff here, the skull has to be remade for the expressions. So for Cliff, the expressions are also heads. Pythons! Fucking, I love it. I love it so much. He looks amazing though. I love him. So, is there any other questions, I guess? Oh, really, Cliff? That's nice. Nice! You can nest things within layers, then I will probably use it. The more useful your Gaster is, in terms of like things being frozen versus not, the more I can mess with it, the more it can be used. Temgi will probably be used as a filler. It might show up for like one of the very fast frames, but probably not. And one of the things I wanted to do is actually show you what it looks like. Oops, I meant to actually... I meant to load the project, not just... ECHO Gaster Mark IV. Did anyone change their file names? So this is what the actual file looks like. And you may or may not be able to tell, but over on the left is actually the images of the Gasters that people have made. And the way that this works is I go in here and figure out timing and place the frames as they fit. One by one, bit by bit. I pose it and I take one of the frames, I stick it in, like, let's see. Oh, right, I wanted to add in the actual Temgi. So if we go into that, here, say Tekket Temgi, carry that over, add it in, it imports the files. I can take a look at them. Ta-da! Here's our Temgi. And if I want to, I can bring it in. Just go plop. And throw a Dusty in, just to have it. And I'm pretty sure that the stream will probably break in trying to show this, but if I can give a sampling of what it looks like when I'm actually doing it, so. Like that. So I can see it and have a preview of it, and I can time things out better. And if I make a change to Temgi 01, if I wanted to, I don't know, we'll just be like, we'll do something really obnoxious just to have it. Blah. Oh, leg. Take that, export. Which frame did we use? We did Temgi 02. We go in this, say, I'm gonna replace Temgi 02 because I wanted to add something in the background. Save it, overwrite it, leave it as the transparency. If I look in, ta-da! It has that version of the file. So I don't have to re-import it. Everything goes so much better. As long as you keep the files correct, if you keep the naming convention, this makes it so that you can actively change your Gaster, the Gaster images, as is needed without changing too much. It flows a whole lot better this way if you stay and use the names and do a file replace. It just changes it, and I don't have to change anything myself. And having it that you have access to your files makes it so that everyone can tweak their own Gasters as they need to for the project. So it's not just me doing the work, it's everybody involved. There's some people that are taking on a bit more for everybody, like Z and Twilight and Ace. Of which I really, really, really appreciate you guys, and I don't know how I can say that in a way that really exemplifies how much you guys mean to me. Yes, update the roster. Oh, but yes, that's the process. Are there any major questions at this point in time? Yes, show me the Flopster soul. And I know that stuff has been a little cropped off, and I plan on downloading this, making a video by itself, cropping down other stuff. Why am I such a cutie? Because I love you all. That's why. I love you all so much. And you're all great. See. Music back on. Yes, hi, Fim. No, Aussie. Oh God, the animation part. Oh! Ooh! where this is going. Ooh. Yes, please continue. It looks great. The animation is going to kill me, and probably a few other people. That is still really, really, really up in the air, so I can't specifically say what parameters are of that. There is an example of what I want to go for. CB, that is a great pose, please do it. I have a few that do that, and good pose. Very good pose. I have a video on what the animation is intended to be, but only in technique, not actual content, where it'll be a somewhat simplified animation of like a generic badster and a generic dadster, probably. Like a good and a bad, and bad will chase good. But for every frame of it, I will be asking everyone to draw their gaster. I'll distribute out frames so that everyone has a couple, and they draw their gaster, so it'll be different gasters doing the animation the whole way through. If I can manage it. I really want to do it, and I think it would be really awesome looking. But I gotta figure it out. There's definitely a few people that are also animators. Several frames per gaster, probably. Depending. Anything else? Because I think I'm gonna wrap this up. Stop the stream, make it so I can download the file in a way that I can use, and then start up the stream and do generic stream. I also really have to pee. So are there any other questions? Yes. Well, I didn't make the hat, but I did all of the stuff that's on it. It's all well, now it's all plastic. Also, all of the pins are on sale on my Etsy shop. Please buy. Please buy so I can get out of here. My things glow in the dark and they're really cool. I even have like air-tied necklaces and they're really good. Okay, so if that's it, I'm gonna go ahead and stop the stream. I will be back probably in 15 minutes. And I will see you kits there.